What's up, guys? In the home studio, sounding very hollow, very echoey. I know that. I need sound absorbing materials, furniture. I need to liven this room up a little bit and dampen the sound. That's happening very soon. But I just want to do this intro here because we're going to go outside and we're going to do some tests and all that fun stuff. But the reason I'm doing this video is because it's a supplement video to the Sony ZV-E10, that review we put out a few days ago. And you know, the 1650 kit lens on that was great for what it is. The price point for this camera and that lens is really hard to beat. But what if you need something wider? What if you need something faster for lower light situations? What options are there out there for you? Well, as you know by the title, you know exactly what I'm here to talk about. The Tamron 11-20mm F2.8 APS-C lens for the Sony E-mount. I'm recording on it right now, the Sony ZV-E10. They did a D3 mic on top of it. It's a D3 Pro mic on top of it for that matter. So we're gonna go outside, we're gonna do some vlogging, we're gonna walk around, we're gonna put the camera and the lens through its paces and also show you some photography. So with that, guys, let's have some fun with this lens. We're now outside and we're going to do a little bit of a vlogging test with the Sony ZV-E10 with the Tamron 11-20 on the front of it. And we're at 11 millimeters right now. This is a very comfortable arm's distance away from me. If I want to go all the way out here, this is what it looks like. Now if I move it to 20, I'm about here. So this is really close up. I don't think you want to see me vlogging this way. Just in case you're wondering, we have to wear masks when we're out in public here in Singapore, but I'll try to go to a more secluded area to take the mask off and chat to you guys, but I think you should be okay to hear me with the ventilation in this Oakley mask. Anyway, let's talk about this lens for a moment. You've got 12 elements, 10 groups. The weight of this lens is 335 grams. So it's a little bit on the heavier side compared to, let's say, that 1650 out there. But of course, this is a wide angle zoom lens at f2.8. So it's gonna be a little bit heftier, but it's actually not much of a problem. The ZV-E10 is very, very light. So, I mean, I'm using this switch pod right now to hold up the camera and to walk and talk, and it's usable, no issues at all. I mean, I'll be switching arms here and there, but it's definitely usable. The close focusing on this is about 5.9 inches, 15 centimeters thereabouts. So you can get some really nice macro shots. And that's one of the cool things about Tamron lenses as a whole, is that they're really good for close focusing. So you also get a pseudo macro lens, even with this, like you get on the other lenses they have as well. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it's good. Fast autofocusing motor in this. The eye tracking sticks on me like glue. I mean, it performs just like a Sony native lens in that regard. I mean, it just sticks on me. It's fantastic. This focusing in the ZV-E10 is really, really good. Now, currently my settings are 1/50. It's about f4, f3.5. ISO is 100. So yeah, those are my settings right now because I'm outside. I don't have a variable ND on this, so I'm just sort of relying on the aperture to sort of stop up and down based on the lighting conditions. But as you can see, this is really good. And we can also do another test as well. Let's pop down, pop up, pop down, pop up. I'm really in focus. So yeah, this lens performs really well. If I want to do this kind of vlogging action as well, it just sticks on me, eyes in focus, and we're good to go. So that's it in a nutshell. It's a really good lens. So also this is the telescopic zoom lens on this. Now it doesn't protrude out that much. So, I mean, if you're using a gimbal, you need to take note of that. If you have some focusing motors on it as well, if you want to do that. But honestly, I think this lens is going to be more for run and gun videographers out there that want to rely on autofocus versus manual focus. So it shouldn't be much of an issue. But yeah, I mean, the image quality on this is sharp. As you saw in the opening video, that was with my studio light, the aperture light. That was sharp. It's sharp here at ISO 100, f2.8. You're gonna get some fantastic image quality coming out of this lens. So now, let's just walk around and just show you what it's like recording with the Tamron 11-20 f2.8. Some scenery shots, some not so epic B-roll because I'm on the pathway here, but we'll see what we can come up with. By the way, yeah, look how fast that autofocused on me. Wow, that is quick. All right, continuing to walk and talk with this. I really like this lens. This lens is really, really nice. Tamron's doing a lot of great things as of late with these lenses. Now, I was a little bit curious why they came out with this new line of APS-C lenses for the Sony E-mount. But of course, with the introduction to the ZV-E10, that all changes, because basically Sony kind of killed the compact market in a way, didn't they? Because basically our phones take over that market. The ZV-E10 is sort of the evolution of that, because you can have a 1-inch sensor on a phone, which pretty much covers what a compact camera does. So the next step up is, well, you can say micro four thirds, but that's, I don't know how long that's going to be around for, but it's APS-C. It's very loud. Distinguished Gentleman's Ride is happening today in Singapore, but we can't be in groups. So people are riding solo, or they're riding together, but very far away. So you know what I mean? That's what's going on here in Singapore. So if you hear this loud motorcycles coming by here and there, that's the reason. Unfortunately, this lens doesn't have stabilization, but I don't expect to have it in a 11-20 lens, okay? So not a deal breaker, but it's just something to take note of. What else to know about this lens? You know, I gotta tell you something. This ZV-E10, on a side note, I mentioned it. Yeah, thanks. This ZV-E10, I think, for the price point, I mentioned this in my the previous review, but I'm just gonna say it again. It's a hell of a camera for the price point. It really is fantastic. You know, the image quality coming out of it's really good. The autofocusing is just spot on. Eye tracking. I mean, honestly, guys, for most of you out there, they're doing YouTube videos. This is more than enough. If you have the right lens, you're golden. Now, of course, with that kit lens, lower light situations, you're gonna get a lot of grain, a lot of noise creeping in. But with something like this, it's really, really good. I keep looking at the screen. I gotta stop looking at the screen. I gotta start looking at you guys. I keep looking at the screen. That's the one downside about having a flip screen on the side. You're always looking at yourself versus looking at you. I gotta be engaged with you guys. Don't wanna run into this car here. We'll just stop real quick as there's traffic coming about. I know this is gonna be a little bit of a shaky review, but it's more real world. You know what I'm talking about? This is more what it's like when you're vlogging and so forth like that. I could use the gimbal, but it's heavy. And as much as I'm walking right now, my arms would be very tired. Okay, now we're gonna do a little bit of a test here where I'm gonna set the camera down on its switch pod. I'm gonna walk back and forth. You can see how it tracks me and how quick the autofocus is with the Tamron 11-20. This is at 11 millimeters. I don't know if you guys can hear me here, but I'm just gonna walk towards the camera. Walk, 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 walk. It's sticking on me like glue. That's at 11 millimeters. Let's go to 20. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Actually, it looks pretty good. Locking it right here, and I'm very close to the lens. Very close, very close. You're seeing all my pores. Oh shit, I need a facial. Okay. Well, as you guys saw on the autofocusing test, it's actually not too bad at all. It's also a very sharp lens, as I mentioned a couple times in this video already. But my final thoughts on this Tamron is it's a really impressive lens for what it is. So I'm just sweating. I'm so hot right now. It is so hot in Singapore. It's so humid. I had to take off the mask for a moment because I'm by myself anyway. There's nobody around. But I mean, this is a really good lens. Now the build quality, I didn't touch much on it because it's pretty much the same build quality as we've seen out of the other Tamron lenses in the market from the Sony E-mount. Pretty nondescript. It's weather resistant. It's pretty hefty at 335 grams. It's a little heavier, you know, on the ZV-E10 than let's say on the Sony a6000 series, but this is a very nice lens. And if you have the means to afford it, you're gonna be well rewarded with some fantastic image quality, great autofocus, and a great lens for videographers out there, especially if you're a one-woman, one-man crew, you're a vlogger, you're gonna like this lens. For example, right now, I'm right in front of the camera system, and I'm 11 millimeters, and I mean, this is great framing. On the 16-50, I'd have to be a lot farther away. On here, I can get right up close and personal with you guys, and it just looks fantastic. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Tamron. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like always, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. Be safe out there, and I'll chat to you soon. Take care.